Good evening. You're watching the news on Croatian television. A delegation from the International Monetary Fund has put forth a range of suggestions to the Croatian government after visiting the country. They include lowering the public debt to GDP ratio to 60%, introducing a new property tax, capping public sector wages, and raising the retirement age. Finance Minister Zdravko Maric said reforms would begin next year.
Several of those points have been in the works for many years now. This includes our healthcare and public sectors. Our government is very aware of the issues brought up by the IMF, and we have taken steps to address them, and not just because the IMF told us to, but because we know we need to.
After more than a week since President Kolinda Grabar-Kitarović returned from her official visit to Russia, Igor Sechin, the head of Russia's state-owned oil giant Rosneft, said they plan to invest in oil and gas infrastructure in the region, including a possible ownership role in INA. The president reacted to this report by saying she did not discuss any potential sale of INA with anyone during her visit to Russia. She said it was vital to always be transparent and once again lent her support to Parliament's commission tasked with investigating Agrokor. Orsat Miljanić, the chairman of the parliamentary commission tasked with investigating Agrokor, said the purpose of the commission had not been precluded by recent partisan politics. Miljanić noted that the commission must continue its work, among other things, precisely because of the seemingly odd choice of witnesses that the governing majority in parliament has proposed to testify.
The Commission must shed light on all the political connections with Agrokor, including those involving the SDP. And as an SDP member myself, I am more than willing to put my party in front of the Commission first. If some of our members did something wrong, then this must be brought out into the open. We will examine the issue, close it, and move on.
Agrokor's fugitive former owner, Ivica Todorić, has continued to attack the government-appointed restructuring manager Ante Ramljak via his personal blog. His latest post claims that Ramljak traded privileged information with American investment fund Knighthead Capital prior to securing €200 million from the firm in the roll-up financing deal. Todorić claims that Knighthead was given extra time to purchase bonds after a meeting with Ramljak last April, rejecting a more favorable deal from Sberbank in the process.
At that meeting, Knighthead's legal representative stated that they had to wait because Knighthead had still not purchased a sufficient amount of shares, and that he needed to call the fund immediately to speed up the process of buying the shares in order to enter the creditors' council and participate in the roll-up. That is why Sberbank's offer to join the roll-up was rejected at the meeting, and that their €100 million were not given senior status. That bizarre and criminal way of rejecting a better offer had only one goal: to blatantly give Knighthead enough time to purchase shares.
A fire that broke out this afternoon near Marušići, located 12 kilometers south of Omiš, is under control. Roughly 60 hectares of forest and shrubland have been destroyed. 2 water bomber planes were called in, but were unable to participate in the firefighting efforts due to strong northeasterly winds. Around 100 firefighters will remain on standby throughout the night as more strong winds are in the forecast.
There's really only one village up there, and that's Mimica. The rest is just mountains and shrubland. Access is difficult because there's only one narrow road meant for tractors. But in the end, we managed to get there and encircle the village. We let the rest burn to the north, but we will get there soon and place it under control.
The 25th anniversary of the liberation of southern Croatia began today in Dubrovnik. The military operation to free southern Croatia resulted in the lifting of the blockade of the city, which is surrounded by enemy-occupied territory during the Homeland War. A mass was led by Dubrovnik's bishop on Mount Srđ for the 270 defenders who died during the operation.
We will perform our prayers while following Jesus' Stations of the Cross and remember the similar plight experienced by our city, southern Croatia, and the whole country 25 years ago. A lesson that we must never forget is that there is no such thing as freedom without this holy cross and love for a fellow man.
The 4th annual Pumpkin Festival was held at the Zagreb Zoo earlier today. Children helped carve pumpkins that were then given to animals as treats. The event has quickly become one of the zoo's most popular attractions. Taking a quick look at sports, in the 14th round of domestic football league action, Dinamo beat Rijeka in Zagreb 3-1. The score was locked at 1-1 at halftime before Algerian striker Saoudani put in 2 more goals for the home team. Dinamo now sits atop the standings with a commanding 9-point lead over Rijeka and 10 points ahead of third-placed Hajduk. In boxing, Croatia's Filip Hrgović has begun his professional career by dropping his first 2 opponents with a pair of first-round knockouts. Last night, the 25-year-old Croat beat Pavel Schauer of the Czech Republic, who is 10 years his senior.
The weather forecast for tomorrow calls for scattered clouds in the interior with partly sunny skies. The Adriatic will see more sunshine, while Dalmatia can expect light clouds. The interior will see thicker clouds move in from the north in the afternoon, increasing the chance of light showers. Clouds will clear overnight, ushering in clear skies for Sunday. The Adriatic can expect a weak to moderate southwesterly wind. Parts of the north will get a strong southwesterly and southeasterly, switching to a northeasterly wind in the evening, with gale-force gusts near the Velebit Channel. Morning lows of between 1 and 6 in the interior and between 9 and 15 on the coast will give way to highs of 13 to 19 degrees Celsius and up to 21 on the coast. Continental regions will have dry weather to start the week. Sunny skies are expected, but slightly cooler than previous days. Morning frost is a possibility, especially on Tuesday and Wednesday when morning fog is expected. The first half of next week will also be cooler on the coast. The strong northeasterly wind on Sunday night and Monday morning will slowly lose strength by midweek, with sunny skies in the forecast.
Before we leave you, here's a quick reminder of the daylight savings time that goes into effect tonight. Clocks will be set back 1 hour at 3 a.m., giving us all 1 more hour of sleep. And that brings us to the end of our program. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow night.